Okay, so once more, welcome everyone to our second edition of our family session on the Homework Club Plus project sponsored by the National Lottery. On this project, we're giving free one-to-one tuition to about 32 BAME children aged 7 to 16. So it's been a fantastic 9-week journey with both the students and their families, and the students have been doing so great. We also want to thank our tutors for their time, so for sacrificing their time. Some of you have been giving extra lessons to the students. We really, really appreciate you. Thank you, everyone. And some people have asked that for them to leave earlier. So on that note, I just want to make some announcements so that if somebody drops off in the middle of the meeting, the person doesn't really lose out on much information. So to start off, please, we would like to have the feedback forms which have been sent to you guys via your emails. Parents and children, please complete those Google forms for us. It doesn't matter if you're on Google Mail or not. The link, you can access it even if you're using Yahoo or whatever mail engine. Please, please, please complete them today for us. At some point in the meeting, we will allow you to complete the forms, okay? Because that will help us to analyze our impact so far and also share our results with our funders so that we can continue to get more and more money to continue the good work we're doing in the society. Also, the Homework Club Plus project will be ending on the 11th of July. The 11th of July, the official closing date, final closing date is on the 23rd of July, but we are stopping the lessons on the 11th of July to allow the tutors and the TRG Board of Trustees to be able to gather all the records, analyze the data, and also write the report, which will be sent to the funder, okay? So that is why we are stopping on the 11th of July, and this was already accounted for in the grant application. So also we've got a meeting. We've been exchanging emails with the MP of the Greenwich Borough, Matthew Pennycook, and we're yet to receive, we're yet to finalize the date for our meeting with him, because it would be nice for those of you that live in the Greenwich Borough to meet with him and actually talk to him about the Homework Plus project and the impact it's making in your lives. So at the moment, he's saying he cannot do Sundays because Sundays are his days off. So he's offering the week beginning the 11th of July or something like that. So it's going to be on a weekday and it's going to be before 3:30 p.m. So I will get the date across to you guys as soon as I hear from him. Also, we have just received another, money from the Arnold Clark Community Fund to give free culturally appropriate meals to individuals, BAME families, disadvantaged people, the homeless in the community. So this will start on the 27th of July and will run consecutively for about 3 weeks, or we could do it fortnightly. We're yet to sort out the logistics. So guys, if you know of anybody who would like to benefit, who lives within Greenwich Borough, or who can make his or her way to Woolwich Station from the 27th of July for this free cooked meal. So when I mean culturally appropriate meal, I mean a bowl of jollof rice, well made, with grilled chicken and fried plantain. So that's a package, and a bottle of water will be handed out to families. And obviously, if there are 5 people in a family, we'll give them 5 bowls. Okay. So if you know of any family who would like to benefit from that, please let us know. And okay, we are also applying for more funding to see if we can continue with this homework club project from September. However, there is no guarantee that it will be the same students that are on this one that will be on that one, because each funder has got their own criteria for admission or for their funding. So some might say they want to focus on Greenwich Borough. Some will say they want to focus on Walthamstow, Waltham Forest, or something like that. So we have to go according to what the funders want, okay? But hopefully, those of you who have been behaving really well, hopefully you will get onto the next one, okay? So with that said, I will now hand over to our TRG ambassador, Christabella Wanderson, who will be taking us through another set of quiz, and there will be some winners again. The winners for the last family session, you received your lovely gifts. So we're hoping that another set of children or families will win today's prizes. So over to you, Christabella. We can't hear you, Christabella. Yeah. No, we can't hear you. Yes. Can you speak? No, we can't hear you. If you would like to share your screen. Sorry, guys. We could hear you, but faintly, very faintly. Speak again. What if you unplug the headphone and speak directly? Yeah? Okay, guys, while we're waiting for Christabella to get her volume back, please, if you could start completing the Google form for us. While you're online, you could just tap the link and quickly complete the Google form for us, please. We want to have as many feedback as possible so that can guide our services. Yeah. But I could hear you at the beginning of the program when you first came in.
Dr. Mary.
Well,
Yes, Miss.
It's Miss Barnes here. Oh, she's back on now. Okay.
Christabella, can you speak, please?
Hello.
Yeah, volume, please. Yeah,
Hi.
okay. Hello. Go ahead and share your screen, Christabella.
Okay.
I'm sure this one. Say hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hi. Sorry. Can you hear me through? Wait.
Yeah, go on, Christabella, go on. Why not share the slide, share the screen so that people can start logging on to the Kahoot?
Hi.
Yeah, hello. Increase your volume,
Hello?
please. Can you not speak without the headpiece, the earpiece?
I don't think so.
Okay, go on. We can hear you now.
Yes, I'll use my moment.
I'm just using my mom's phone
And I
for
can
now,
share.
and then I can share the quiz through the
Okay.
screen.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Sorry
So hi.
about that, guys.
Yeah. Sorry.
Technology.
So hi everyone. My name is Christabella Nwanderson, and I made this Kahoot quiz for TRG. So can you please log on or go to the game pin to put the game pin at W. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, guys, for those of you who were not here in the last session, we logged on to this website, www.kahoot.it, this one here. Yeah, you can just type it on your phone or on any of your the devices you're using. And once you get in, you will be asked, you just follow the instructions. It will ask you to create a name or something like that, your unique name. Awesome, Finch. Yeah. Are guys logging on?
You can speak to the hear you.
Thank you, everybody.
That's all right.
Sorry for the technical difficulties at the start. So as long as you know who you are, when the leaderboard comes up, just know whether you're first, second, third, or other places.
Okay.
I'll give everybody a couple more seconds for the people who still need to join.
Guys, are you joining?
Is that everybody?
Should we start? This is just 13 people. Guys, we need more people so that it's more fun. More people should join.
And it can be either you or your family that can play. So if you win, then your family can win the prize as well.
Okay, Christabella, I think we can now start.
Okay.
Okay. Go on.
Okay, so the prizes for the winning teams. So as you can see, the first team or family will receive a TRG red coffee flask and a TRG umbrella. And the second and the third team or family will receive a silver coffee flask and a TRG umbrella. So the rules for this game, so when the question is shown, you only have 20 seconds to answer. You aren't allowed to change your answers as that is cheating. You're not allowed to search up any of the answers. If only one answer is required, please only put one answer. And the host, Dr. Mary, or any other board of directors, as well as myself, are not allowed to help with any of the answers. And to get more points than other people, you you should answer the questions as quickly as possible. So yeah.
Christabella is echoing.
Pardon?
You are echoing. I think the other device is clashing. Maybe you should mute yourself on one of the devices.
Okay, my mum is muted us. I'm just going to switch off my camera because there's something wrong going on with it. So okay, so let's start. What is the name of the small people that helped Willy Wonka operate his factory? Well done. So Speedy Griffin is first. Who is the author of Peter Rabbit? Well done, everybody. Who lives in a children's residential care home nicknamed the Dumping Ground? Witty Buffalo has the highest honest streak of 3, so well done. And Aquatic Quail is first. What sort of food does Paddington Bear like? It is marmalade. Aquatic Quail is still first. The White Witch who rules Narnia made it always winter but never what? In which children's book by Dr. Seuss does the vocabulary of the text consist of just 50 words? It was green eggs and ham. Witty Buffalo is now first. So this is a true or false. Sophie uses her local knowledge to take the BFG to London. True or false? It is true. Zanigo is the highest climber and Daring Hamster is first place. This is another true or false. Mildred Bubble is a major character in The Worst Witch. It was false because her real name is Mildred Hubble, not Mildred Mubble, not Mildred Bubble. Which trilogy contains Larry Bellecourt and Will Perry as they go through a series of parallel universes? So essentially, this book is based on a boy and a girl, and they have to travel through certain universes that are discovered by some people, but other people want to keep it a secret, and they're one of the two children who are found out. And I read this series, and I really recommend it as a book. It was his Dark Materials. Miss Agatha Trunchbull is the fictional headmistress of Crunchem Hall Primary School in which book? This story is quite a classic for many people. I'm pretty sure the majority of some people have read it anyway. It was Matilda. And Witty Buffalo is still first. Harry Potter lands he is a wizard on his birthday when he becomes of what age? I know many people have read this book, but it may not always seem common for little details to be known. But Harry Potter is a very good book series and it's very famous, so yeah. He learned he was a wizard when he became 11. Witty Buffalo is doing very well, I must say. True or false? Greg Heffley wrote Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Diary of a Wimpy Kid is more of like a novel to enjoy, and it has been made into movies. They are very good books, and me and my sisters always enjoy them. It was false because Greg Heffley is actually a character in the Diary of the Wimpy Kid. Complete the title of Eric Clark's book, The Very Hungry. This book is more known as a child's book, so some of you may not remember it, but as a child, I remember reading this a lot in my school, in my primary school, so yeah. It was The Very Hungry Caterpillar. This is a true or false. Francesca Simon wrote Perfect Peter. This book has been made into a series of episodes on certain TV programs. Sometimes it can be very amusing, especially because of the main character. But yeah. It's false. Francesca Simon actually wrote Horrid Henry, and Perfect Peter is Horrid Henry's little brother. And the last question, which novel tells the story of a pig named Wilbur and his friendship with a barn spider? Now, I hadn't read this story when I was a child, but as I grew up, I found out the story, and it's a very good story. So yeah, many of these books within this quiz I definitely recommend because they really help with vocabulary and they can teach you things as well. It was Charlotte's Web. So in third place was Speedy Griffin. In second place was Daring Hamster. And in first place was Witty Buffalo. Well done. Well done, everyone. And can we please know who these people are? Because these are obviously nicknames and not their real names. So
Who is Witty Buffalo?
either unmute yourself or just raise your hand.
Witty Buffalo, who is that? Oh, okay, Leslie Darby, okay. And who is Daring Hamster?
With
Victoria.
Oh,
Victoria.
Victoria. Oh, Victoria. And who is Speedy Griffin? Speedy Griffin.
Is it Leslie or?
Oh, is this the other Leslie?
Yeah, the other Leslie.
Oh, the other Leslie. Okay, Senior Leslie. Okay, Senior Leslie. Yeah, okay. Well done, guys. Congratulations, everyone. Fantastic. Well done, families. Moms and dads, well done. Okay. Christabella, thank you so much. That
Thank
was
you,
very
everyone.
well anchored.
Thank
Guys,
you.
sorry about the technical difficulty that
Yeah.
we experienced earlier on. Okay, Christabella, you can stop sharing now.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, okay. So we're now moving to the next item on the program, which is a speech from my very senior colleague, whom I respect so much. I work with her at, in the same school, and I respect her so much. I will leave the rest of the introduction for her to do by herself. Please join me and welcome Ms. Rabia Daramchi. There she goes. Hello, Ms. Rabia.
Hello, Mary. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. So happy to be with you this afternoon. So happy. And can I just say as well that Mary is someone that we respect hugely as well at school anyway, as a teacher, as a person, educator. So definitely someone we, as I say, we think highly of. Very lucky as well, very proud to work with you, Mary.
Thank you.
I was very happy because, in fact, what Mary said that she'd like me to talk about culture and identity. To be honest with you, it is something that is very close to me because obviously I'm someone who came to this country from a different culture. And obviously I came with my identity. I think I have more than one now, and proud to say. And it's something, as I said, it's really a topic that is very close to me, and something that I'm very happy to share with parents and with their kids, because I think that it will definitely relate. My story will definitely be something that is that parents will relate to, and to the children. I will make it as simple as possible because I'd like it as well to mean something to you, because I'm pretty sure that some of the stuff that I have experienced and I still experience till now, you have experienced, and you know, and I hope you'll get the point that I would like to share with you. I came, I suppose, just like Mary, I came to join the University of London, and I came from Africa. I come from the northern part of Africa. I'm from Algeria, and I joined the University of London in Russell Square, a university that I've always wanted to join. And to say that when I joined the university, this is many years ago, by the way. Oh my God, so many years ago that I don't even want to say. many years ago. But to say that I worried when I came to join, when I came to England and to London in particular, and to join the University of London, I don't know. I can't remember if I worried then, but I can tell you that I was super, 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 super excited. To me, I was going to study in a country where I've always wanted to study. I was going to do a post-graduation, so I had already had my first degree. In fact, I had my master's degree as well. And I thought, oh, I'm going to go to England. I'm going to go to London. My English will get better. In fact, my English was really limited, but I was happy that I was going to learn English, that I was going to live in London, such a famous capital, that I was going to experience some other things. So honestly, it felt like as if my culture and the culture I was going to did not matter to me at all. And I don't think that then the word culture meant so much to me, or I was like aware of it. However, I have to say that it didn't take a long time before I realized that, yeah, there was definitely, a shock of culture. Not a big one, I have to say, not a huge one, but it was an important one. And questions started inside my head. The people I was meeting, the university I was studying in, the language I was using, the habits that I was, that I came across, were all very different. And Algeria, I don't know if you guys, especially children, if you know where Algeria is, but we're the northern part of Africa. So if you're coming from Europe, and you're coming to Africa, it's us that you see first. So it's the northern part of Africa that you see. So you see Morocco, Tunisia, Libya, Egypt, Algeria, before you enter the rest of Africa. And obviously, if you're coming from this very southern part of Africa, you've got to go through the center of Africa, so South Africa, center of Africa, then you've got to go to North Africa. So, I was back home, I was African, I was Arab, I was Algerian, I was Muslim, and it was fine. It was fine. And obviously, I was home, and but I realized here that I needed to be aware of who I was in order to behave in a certain way, in a way that I chose, or in a certain way. So just to share with you my very first experience. A week after I arrived and I joined the University of London, I was in a school called School of Oriental and African Studies, and it had not just English students, but it had students from different parts of the world. And I remember in the first week, the very first person that I met was an English girl who was doing the same, who was in the same department as me, area studies. And she invited me to the bar of the university. And I had never set foot in a bar. I never set foot in a bar before. Why? Because I do not come from a culture where girls and women necessarily go to bars. We don't even have them as many as we don't have as many bars as other countries. So all I knew of a bar was a bar, a place where people meet to drink alcohol. There was no, I remember when she invited me, it was at the end of our day when we had finished a class. And I thought, yeah, I'll go to the bar with you. So I did go to the bar. And to me, as I said, it was something that really I've never experienced in my culture. And I remember we sat down and other people joined us, people who knew this girl. And I remember very well, the question that was on every single lip of every single person was, why don't you drink? Because I remember a tea probably was a tea, not even a soft drink. I had asked for a tea. It was a university bar, so it was very simple and very limited in how much, the type of drinks that you could have, even, with alcohol. And everybody was, oh, why don't you drink? Oh, you don't drink alcohol. Oh, why? You've never tasted alcohol. Oh, or did you taste it? Did you taste alcohol, but you didn't like it? And I had to explain, and I had to say, and I could feel a little tiny pressure building up inside me. Not that I was getting upset, but I felt, why am I being questioned? Because and why is it that I have to repeat to everybody that I do not drink alcohol? I did it. It did not bother me. I did it. I was happy to be with, where I was, and I was happy to share this moment with my friend and to be in a place where I have never been. But I felt that people did not know much about my culture and that I needed to explain to them. So I did tell everybody that, oh, first, I don't drink because I didn't grow up in a family where we drank alcohol. And then I said a little bit about the religious aspect of it, that as a Muslim, I was not taught to drink, and I was taught that alcohol was something that Allah did not like, not forbidden, but Allah did not like, and liked a Muslim not to have. But then that was fine, and then I moved on. And then I realized with time and with more experiences similar to this one, that not only my culture was not known, not only there were gaps and there were misconceptions, that in a way it was good that people asked me, and it was good that I explained as much as I knew, as much as, I knew indeed, that it was a good thing. But at the same time, I questioned myself whether the problem was with me or with the others. By the others, I mean people that I was meeting. So was the problem that I was coming from a culture that was unknown, and that maybe even to a certain extent that was not interesting to be known, was not maybe even worthy to be known? Or was it the others who maybe did not pay attention in their life to my culture, to aspects of my culture and where I come from, to this bit of my identity? I think I was recognized as a person. Definitely didn't take a long time. After all, the University of London was full of international students and students from other countries, and also students from this country. So that didn't take a long time. I think people definitely were able to say what kind of person I was, even to say what I liked, what I maybe things that I did not like, the way I think about certain things. But I think what they missed was my culture, was what made me who, or what makes me who I am. And they didn't have a clue. So if we talked about women, they either had the wrong ideas about how women are treated in Africa, to be honest with you, to start with, in the Arab world, in the Muslim world, and then I always felt that I needed to explain and educate. And sometimes I would say quite often, actually, I managed to do it because I am someone, again, I'll go back to what I said at the beginning. I am someone who, even though I did not come to this country with big bags of culture or things to protect me and protect my culture, because I don't think that was, as I said, really in my head. I think I came definitely to learn, and I came to learn a new culture and to carry on my studies and to give myself the best chance that I possibly could, or my parents could offer me then. So culture was not, but then I realized that no, it was important that I am aware of my culture maybe more than ever before, so that I can answer, so that I can answer people questions, and so that as well I don't know if you will agree with me, especially with parents, so that I don't maybe lose myself, if you want, or start looking for myself. So yes, so it was fine. It was absolutely fine. And then I have to say that the best thing that could have happened to me was when I started my adventurous traveling. I'm a big, Mary knows this. I'm a big traveler. Maybe, honestly, one of the biggest you can imagine. I mean, I've made it since I was a student, even till now, I've made it my hobby, my aim, my passion to travel the world and meet cultures. And every culture that I met, in every place that I went to, I identified myself with, not necessarily with aspects of the culture, but with the beauties of the culture, the beauty and the beauties of this culture, the benefits of it as well, and in fact and it made me also realize how lucky we are, all of us, to have this wealth of language, habits, cuisine, rituals, religion that we have, that makes us who we are, in addition to the other identities that we have. I mean, I have an identity as a teacher, as a professional. There is also my identity as a woman. There is my identity as a member of the community where I live. There's no doubt about it. But there is also my identity as the African, the Algerian, the Muslim, the Arab that I am. And with everything that this sort of includes. So yeah, again, I think that it's I think Mary will definitely agree with me when I say that it is definitely one reward or one lucky thing that you have when you are a teacher, and it is to be able to teach a diversity of children. But every time I'm in front of a different culture to mine, not only does it make me realize, as I said, the beauty of the other culture that I am experiencing, and the need that I need to respect it, that I need to learn more about it. It also tells me that my own culture should be and must be very important to me, and that it is a heritage, it is a wealth that I need to carry with me, and I need to pass on to other people, be it my children, or future generations. But I really think that, basically, I think I'd like to, if Mary allows me, I'd like to hear maybe a couple of people and their views on culture, and if they feel the same way as me. And I'm talking someone who has been in this country for 33 years. So it's been 33 years. And I have to say that I'm British by passport. I am British by heart, because I adore this country. I do have goosebumps when when there is something that is patriotic about this country, within reason. I do feel proud, if it is the Olympics, or if it is an international summit where this country, I feel, has done well. So yes, I feel a lot of pride, but at the same time, and this will always be till the last day of my life, I am also very much Rabia. Sorry, I did not introduce myself at the beginning. My name is Rabia. I will remain Rabia the Arab, and I will remain Rabia the African, the Muslim, and the one that has a beautiful culture. Yeah, so sorry, Mary, but I think I'll stop at this. I just wanted to share a few experiences. I hope I wasn't too heavy on your audience, but honestly, just to satisfy my curiosity, I would like maybe to just hear the opinion of one or two people in the audience, just so that, you know, just to see if they agree with what I said about culture and identity, and if they feel the same way.
Okay, thank you, Rabia. Rabia has not finished speaking yet because she's going to take it to the next level in terms of how culture and identity affects the children that are in schools, from her experience, you know, as the behavioral person in school and all that, how she thinks our children are struggling with culture and their identities, and how that impacts their behavior in school. But in the meantime, for the next few minutes, 2-3 minutes, if we can hear from the audience in response to what Rabia said. If anybody identifies with what Rabia has said, the person can raise up his or her hand and speak. Children, if you think, okay, I understood or I can identify a bit with what Miss said, you can also speak. If not, we will ask Rabia to continue and tailor it down to the young children. Yeah, her experiences with behavior and how it links with culture and identity of the BEM children in school. Does anybody want to say or say something, or the parents, anything? Any hand up? Okay, I think, oh, one person, okay. Yeah, please unmute yourself and speak.
Hello.
Oh, hello, is that Deandra's dad?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, hello, sir.
My name is John. I can relate to what our lovely lady is just saying, that, I mean, culture sometimes. I'm from Ghana anyway, and I believe, and as same as from Ghana, being born in Ghana and travel here over 25 years ago, I still love my country and also love Britain very dearly. But I also try to sometimes tell stories about half of my childhood from Ghana. I mean, I used to tell my children about the village sometimes I came from and how life was there, which is different from what they are experiencing here. So basically, I do try to sort of tell them the difference from as they were born here and where I was born in Africa, the difference and the culture difference and many aspects of the cultures, from respect, the elderly, the things that we were sort of taught when we were young, or when I was young in Ghana. I mean, you go out, you see your mother's friends. At that time, I know something that it takes community to raise a child. So when you are doing something, you're looking around behind you that your mother or your father's friends, nobody will see you to report to you, because if they do, or sometimes they might take authority or control and just tell you off and go and tell your parents and they will tell you off. All these things were very beneficial to me when I was growing up. So sometimes I tell them these stories, and most stories about culture, food, and I mean, all aspects of life. So I can relate to what our lady just said. Thank you.
Can I
Okay.
contribute as well to that?
Yeah.
Yes, so I can definitely 100% relate to what Deandra and our speaker is saying. I'm going to give an example, a very, very clear example. I am from Nigeria, and the way we are trained is basically the same with many African countries, I believe so. And the same training, I think, is conflicting. Some of our children here might not understand what we are trying to teach them. A typical example of that is I taught my children, because where I come from in Nigeria, let's say, for example, that a bus just come in and like, not minding you are the first person to be there on the bus stop, as long as there are people who are older than you, you move a bit and then you allow them to go in. Even if you're seated already, you just stand up, come down from the bus and allow the elderly ones in. I taught my children the same thing. I said to them, as long as you're in the bus and you see an elderly person who has come in, stand up immediately. My eldest daughter, Christabella, asked me, Mommy, why? I said, because in our culture is a sign of respect. You are old enough to stand up and hold the rail, but that frail old person is not old enough, is not young enough to stand up like you. So one incident happened one day. My second daughter, my au pair was bringing them back from school. She saw an elderly person. She stood up, and then the elderly person still, even as she stood up, was shouting at her. And she came home and she said to me, Mommy, as soon as I saw this elderly person, I stood up and she sat down, but maybe she was very upset or annoyed. And then she was saying bad thing towards me. Had it been I know, I wouldn't have stood up for her. I said, no, Mommy, you've done your own side of it. You've given her the respect. Whatever else she's saying is none of your business. The most important thing is that you uphold that respect by standing up for her. And I think sometimes our kids need to learn and understand. Another incident I want to bring across before I finish it up is when we come to serve our husbands and our fathers. Like, for example, I have my father-in-law. Whenever he is around, we serve. We know the way we serve food at home with a tray and bowl for washing hand. And I try to tell my daughter the same thing. When you want to serve your daddy, ask him what he wants. He was like, no, Mommy, we do it this way. I said, here is England. Not minding we're in England, you still need to learn our culture, because imagine if you marry someone who is from our culture, you need to also remember that you have two cultures inside of you. And she is beginning to understand that. I think we as parents, what we need to make sure is, as we are teaching them, we are telling them the reason so that they are able to identify themselves and stand their ground, even if they are questioned about that. The problem I've seen is we tell them to do these things, but we don't explain the reason to them. So I'm going to stop here by now. Thank you.
Thanks, Maureen. Malachi's mom, Malachi and his mom have been raising up their hand for a long time, and Leslie Darby. Okay, so let's go with Malachi and mom first.
Go on, Malachi. Go on. With it's the same. Basically, it's the same with the other parents as well. Because I was born in Ghana, West Africa, and my children are born here. There's like a cultural clash when it comes to trying to embed the culture that I was brought up in, in relation to food, respect, ways to speak to the elderly, that sort of thing. And also when it comes to learning as well, the way I was brought up is like a regimented, you respect your elders, same like the lady said, when you're sitting on a bus, you get up for the elderly person to sit down, and then also when you're speaking to the elderly, you have to bow your head down, you don't look straight into the elderly person's face. It's a heavy sort of way of trying to change it and then trying to amend it with the British culture. It's like it's kind of tough, I might say, because if you're trying to embed what you've been taught back home of how to speak or treat your children, is totally different. Because we're brought up in a very regimented kind of way, and everything is, yes, you put your hand down, and you have to bow down, really. So it's like I'm fighting with two different things all the time. I would tell my children that, okay, you're born here, but you're from Ghana, but they still don't get it. Do you get me? I was like, oh yeah, you're from, you go to school and everything here, but you're from Ghana, but it doesn't really resonate with them. So yes, I agree with all of it. So yes, thank you.
Thank you, Malakai's mom. Leslie, over to you, and then we go to Jennifer. Go on, Leslie.
So mine is kind of different because I am the first generation of born here. So my daughter is the second generation born here. So whereas I feel I'm very British in the things that I do and the things and the way I'm probably bringing her up. I obviously I'm not from African background, so my background is Caribbean, but I still want her to learn the Caribbean ways of that I learned when I was younger, but I have to appreciate the fact that it is slightly watered down because I wasn't born there. I've just been there like a few times as a young person, and that might be that like the situation that people whose children who weren't born here and then their children, they're in that situation that I'm in. But then, by the time it gets to the next generation and next generation, it's about keeping your culture alive, but yet still acknowledging the fact that you have this new culture and that they will have less of your culture than you had because you were born there and you've had all those experiences.
All right, thank you, Leslie. That's brilliant. Yeah. You're muted, Miss. Rabia, you're muted. You are muted. Okay.
I just wanted to say very quickly that all your everybody from your audience who said something about culture and their experiences with their own children when it comes to this cultural shock that they have to obviously deal with. It is very interesting, but the last person who spoke reminded me of something that I read once. An American, if you want, sociologist, but psychologist as well, a bit of psychologist, but definitely sociologist as well, who actually studied culture and mixed culture, has come up with something known as KCT. And KCT are kids with cultural, so how did he call it? It's third culture kids. And these are kids who have the culture of their parents, and then they've got the culture of the country where they are born or the country where they are, where they brought up. And then the third culture, and to me, this is the one that we need to avoid. And this is the problem that we have nowadays. The third culture is basically this culture that the kid develops. And this is a culture that you need to negotiate with society. So where this kid lives, as a result of you having cultures. It's almost like as if a kid feels like as if they are obliged to almost adopt a third culture because they cannot have the culture of their parents as it doesn't relate to them. And it basically contradicts the way they want to live, the way they want to think. At the same time, they have adopted the culture of the society where they live, where they grew up, where they go to school, where they work. And this conflict has made them get or think of Actually, they don't think it. They end up having it, and this is the problem with them. It's when they start creating in them this culture, and which in fact is simply a result of maybe them not being able to, like all your speakers said, to balance between the two cultures. Now, everybody who spoke just now, all of you have said that teaching them principles and teaching them values and teaching them things that their parents learned back home, and teaching them our habits, that is absolutely, all of it is good and must not change, and we need to keep doing it. But in fact, what is happening is that as you're teaching them this, all of this, they are, this basically is in contrast with the loss in societies, for example, especially in Western societies. In Western societies, this is really typical. In Western societies, there is a big loss of human values, of human principles, of morals. So in fact, the problem, I personally think that the problem is not the fact that parents are not finding the right way to do this and to balance, and it's not always the case. And I'm not trying, by the way, to kind of like defend the parents, but what I'm saying is, on the contrary, the majority of the parents, be it African parents or parents from Asian backgrounds, or or countries, most of them are doing a great job, and that is keeping the culture, teaching the culture, preserving the culture, so that children from their culture, from the culture of the parents, continue with this culture and pass it on to their children. And that's how, obviously, that's how culture survives. But I think at the same time, what we're experiencing is this lack of the values that we're teaching our children at home, the society we live in, for whatever reason, and you and I, guys, know the reasons, political, economic, whatever, socioeconomic, they've lost them. They have lost those principles. So you've got our children learning something at home, but then when they're at school or when they're outside, they are hearing, they're seeing, their experiences, things that are different, to the point that they think that they are acceptable and that they are part of this culture that is also theirs, because whether we like it or not, they have this culture. And they really think, now, why am I saying this? I mean, I'm no expert, but I see this and I keep seeing it, and I've seen it with all the students that I worked with, especially from a behavior point of view. You quite often, you'll find yourself in a situation where you have got a kid from African background doing something that is not something that their parents would want them to do. Now, I'm not saying that a white British person, their parents would expect them to, not at all. But what I'm saying is, as an African myself, as an Algerian myself, coming from a culture that is different from the culture here, I know that, for example, respecting the elderly is something that I was taught from a very, very young age, and it is in here. It's very, very much in here, and I was taught the reasons why I should do it. The elderly needs to be respected because they are because of their age, but because also of their wisdom, because they know more than us, because they have more experience than us, and the rest of it. Now, you have sometimes, as a teacher, you experience, for example, things with African children, and you know that obviously they know that what they've done is wrong. But then when you try to correct it, when you try to sanction it as a teacher, when you try to, we have a structure, we've got policies, you've got to do what you've got to do. And more than anything, as a teacher, you have to be fair, and you have to be just, and you have to treat everybody equally, even if your mind indeed tells you that, for example, this one better than you know this one. You understand the background of this one more than you know, or you know where this is coming from, and you know what. Regardless of this, you're a teacher. The aim is to educate the child, no matter where they are from. But when you come to do this, you're quite often hit with a behavior that I'm not going to say, unfortunately, not to make it a big problem. I think it's almost natural as well that they do this. But you are hit with, yeah, you are hit with an attitude from our Black kids that is almost like an attitude, as I call it, of altering or amending or not showing or just showing what I want to show attitude. So they try to show an attitude that is an attitude to please, that is an attitude to, you know, will give them this security, you know, this feeling that they are part of, rather than out, they are in. And I think that maybe the work needs to be on this, rather than just us as parents doing our job of parents and parenting and teaching them the values. Definitely, this must never stop. Our values, our heritage, our culture needs to be taught to our children. But I think at the same time, it's teaching them, giving them the tools of having the confidence and the what's the word for it? The confidence, but also the, you know, it's not courage. Sorry, excuse me, I can't find another word, but it's not courage, because I think kids, you know, will impress us. They're very courageous, but it's the confidence indeed in them to acknowledge that they don't have, I can be part of this group when this group is doing well, but I don't have to be part of this group if this group is not doing the right thing, or if this group is doing something that contradicts what I learned from my culture. And quite often, especially when I'm about, for example, to sanction, or when I'm talking to the students, you know, if you take the African kids apart, and if you speak to them separately, unbelievable, the attitude that you get, the understanding that you get from them, to a point that honestly, you know, it makes you proud, because they know what they learn at home. But as I said to you, I think it's this desire with some of them, and obviously we do know that this desire with some of them goes far, and unfortunately it goes to a point of really, you know, like real problems and real issues. But it's this, when they feel like as if, you know, I don't know, do they see it as a majority thing? I mean, kids think in their own way, and they don't always tell us how they think. But I think for a child in year 7, for a child in year 11 or year 10, if they are in a school where their culture is indeed a minority, where people from the countries of their parents are indeed a minority, okay, they are. I mean, I think it's absolutely normal that they are going to want to look more from the culture of the majority than the culture of the minority. That's absolutely fine. And personally, I have no problem, as long as this education of culture continues and must not stop. And I really think that it must not stop when we think that the child, I mean, there is this sense of freedom, and when you become an adult person and this and that. And I think it's only the approach that changes, but culture and the teaching of culture should happen every single time. So personally, if my child has left school because they've gone to university, or my child has left school because they're doing whatever sixth form, I know that as a mother, I will have them to make sure that our culture is present as much as possible when my son comes back home, and in our food, when my son comes back home, in our music, when my son comes back home, in our family gatherings and stuff like that. This is how we grew up, and this is how we want to. And I know it's not always easy, but I just wanted to touch on this, on everything that you said, because I think that, as I said, I think that our children are proud of their cultures. I think, yes, they don't know them and they haven't learned them the way we learn them. But I think it's more, is sometimes the problem is beyond us, because it is also a problem of this society and what needs to be done in this society in terms of preserving culture, their culture. I mean, you know, their culture 50 years ago is not what it was. I mean, one lady spoke about leaving your seat to giving your seat to an elderly person. Go to any person in this country that is 50 something, and they will tell you that this is how they were brought up. But I think that we live in a world where there are more and more and more societies where morals and you know, you know, what's the word? Morals and principles and values and human values are disappearing. So I think it is, again, a global thing that we need to do. And to be honest with you, I will go back to Mary and I, who are teachers. I think this is something that we do every single day, because it's one way of bringing back the importance of values, and therefore, you know, making sure that our kids understand their importance, embrace them, and are comfortable with them, and not deny them. And I think that is the main. That's what I wanted to say, Mary. Basically, that's my. It's a very humble experience on, as I said, how Black children deal with. I mean, obviously, we don't have time for me to go into more examples, but the majority of the time, as I said, when it comes to teaching or reminding Black children about things that you know they have learned at home, there is always this pleasure of me, at least with me. I've always felt the pleasure that they know them, that they are in them, that they have been taught to them, that they have them. Yes, we want them we want them to show them more, and we want them, but they are there. So I think the work needs to continue, and it's more a global one than just us and our children.
Thank you so much, Rabia. And so from what you've said, I would like to announce to everybody that we're working out, myself and the Board of Trustees of the Rural GEMS are working out something for whenever this COVID thing ends and we can start seeing ourselves face to face or being together in a large crowd. We would like to be organizing cultural events for the BAME people so that our children can identify more with the culture and be proud of who they are, and also understand more what the different cultures entail. Also, in terms of identity, from my own experience, I was brought up in Nigeria, and my experiences in Nigeria actually led to this vision of TRG. Sometimes when I'm teaching children, they will say to me, or they make fun of my accent, and they say, "Miss, where do you come from?" And I say, "Nigeria." They say, "Oh." Then sometimes when they're making fun of the accent, I just say to them, "Guys, do you know what? This accent is what defines me, okay? Don't worry, it will never leave me. It's my accent, so just listen to what I'm telling you, all right?" And they all listen. So in essence, I'm saying, whatever it is, my accent, the way you look, the way you dress, your food, jollof rice, this, that is what defines you as an individual. Everyone must come from somewhere. There must be something that defines you. So children, be proud of who you are and don't try to be like somebody else. Don't necessarily try to be like somebody else. Your food, your lunch pack that you bring to school, that's your food. I mean, you bring it out, you open it and eat it proudly. That's what you've been given, okay? So you eat it proudly. So over to you, Jennifer. Sorry, you raised up your hand earlier on. Jennifer, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. No need for what I want to say because she covered it all. So if I
Okay,
talk, it's like I'm repeating everything she has said, so it doesn't matter.
okay. Thank you so much, Jennifer. Does any other person want to make any contributions? Children, please, we would like to hear from you. How do you feel when you're in the midst of your other friends who are not Blacks, who are not from Black communities, Black ethnicity? How do you feel? Do you feel proud or do you feel less of a human or what? Yeah, be sincere, guys.
Yeah.
Be sincere.
Speak, Malachi.
For me, when I'm talking about my friends.
Sorry, who is speaking? Oh, Malachi.
Yeah.
Go on, Malachi.
Okay. So whenever I'm speaking to my white friends, I'm in the middle. But I'm in the middle because sometimes it could be hard. Sometimes it can be half, and then sometimes it could be the other half when I'm talking to my white friends.
The middle is good. The middle. Malachi, there is absolutely nothing wrong with the middle. Absolutely nothing, because in fact, it is when you are in the middle that you can control both sides. You just have to do this with your hand and you control both of them. So there's absolutely you don't have, just be where you want to be, Malachi. Just be where you want to be. It doesn't matter. And by the way, Malachi, whenever you feel, if you go to school, if tomorrow, Monday, you go to school and you feel like there is something that you experienced on the weekend, something that is very much from your parents' country and your country that you want to share, you share it. It does not matter always. It doesn't always matter if people understand it fully, just like you understand it, or if they appreciate it. You just have to give them time and they will appreciate it with time. But just do it, Malachi. Just do it. Just go and say, oh, you know what? Do you know what we celebrated this weekend? Oh, we celebrated this and that. Or my mother cooked this and that. Or if you're wearing something that they, have never seen, just do it. Yeah, that's what I do, Malachi, when it is Ramadan, when it's the fasting month. I make sure that all my colleagues understand. I get the same questions, Malachi. Every year, Ramadan is once a year, and every year people ask me, oh, what is Ramadan? Why do you do it? Oh, when do you eat? When do you stop eating? But it never bothered me to keep answering until everybody gets it. And this year, Malachi, I had one student who did Ramadan with me, only one day, and 2 colleagues did a week with me. So isn't it great?
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Malachi. Christabella.
Okay.
Based on what everyone is saying, honestly, I feel proud when I'm around them because, for example, on the weekend, if my mum cooks jollof rice and I take it to school, I feel happy that I'm eating something that I love that my mum has made and that I get to show it to my friends because it may not be something that they've seen before. So yeah.
Well done, Christabella. Brilliant. Victoria, over to you, please.
Well, how I feel changes depending on who I'm with. So I have Black albinism, which means that when I'm with my white friends, I feel like I would fit in better if I had the actual features of a white person, as in hair and the skin color. And when I'm with my Black friends, I feel like I'd fit in better if I had the same skin color as them. So I feel like it kind of depends. It's sort of changing.
Interesting.
Brilliant, yeah.
Interesting. Amazing.
Okay. Does any other person want to say something? Parents, do you have anything to say? No? Okay. Ms. Daramchi, do you have anything more to say to the families before we?
No, with the exception of, I mean, the children are really, really impressive. Thank you very much for inviting me. Thanks a lot. And yeah, very happy, very, very happy. I think there need to be more and more, you know, sessions like this one. Absolutely brilliant. You're giving me ideas, miss. I think I'm doing, I think with ideas, things that I can do with the Algerian community, which, believe you me, the issues and the problems are the same, but so is the desire to look after the children, sort of, you know, well-being and mental health, because at the end of the day, you know, doesn't matter again who you are, where you're from. At the end of the day, it's the children needs to be happy wherever they are, whether they are back home or whether they, for whatever reason, you know, they are in a different country. At the end of the day, it's their happiness that matters. So thank you very, very, very much, miss. And I really felt honored to also listen to your audience. And yeah, it's great. Please don't hesitate to invite me next time.
Thank you. Thank you so much for honoring the invitation. Thank you. Thank you, Rabia. Yeah, okay. Thank you so much. And Wandisin, did you say you wanted to ask a question?
No, I was saying if people have questions, they can ask their questions.
Yeah, questions and comments, guys. We're just about to wrap up. Yeah.
Yeah, Deandra's dad is putting up his hand.
Oh, okay. Deandra's dad.
All right. Sorry, I have a quick question. Before we start, you were mentioning that you guys gonna break from, I think, 11th of July?
Yes.
And is it breaking from the school holidays and return back after school holidays, or breaking for complete of days?
Okay, we're stopping. The project is ending.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the funding was actually meant for 11, 12 weeks, right? So we've now done 9 weeks, okay? And we have 2 more weeks or so to go. And the total number of weeks includes the report writing and all that, gathering feedback and all that. So we've decided that we're going to end the tuition on 11th of July. Okay, so that, yeah, allows us time to gather the feedback and analyze our data, and also write the reports to send to the funder, because those are the things that make the funders happy, and they will want to give you more money to do whatever you want to do.
So hopefully there might be a comeback for this program.
Yes, hopefully. We're very hopeful. We are very, very hopeful. And again, by the 11th of July, most of the schools would have started winding down. At the moment already, people are winding down, assessments are going on and all that. So 11th of July is a good time, because to be fair, after that period, schools are not really doing any much.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so that's why we've chosen to do it that way. So hopefully everything, we will get more funding and we'll continue. So, and we also have in mind that people will be going on holidays. Okay, both the tutors, both the tutors and the children.
It has been a beneficial program for me and my daughter, actually, in respect. I wish that it will carry on, for money can keep flowing in.
Yes.
Fortunately, it's everything has its end. So, but I'll do a fingers crossed and hope that it will come back, and we will have an advantage to get in again.
Yes.
We're very lovely. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Please remember to fill out the Google
I'll just
form.
get it open, so after here, I'll just go in.
Please, guys, help us to fill out the Google Forms, okay? If you can do that today, that will be highly appreciated so that we know all things are together, ready for us to make the next funding application. And for those of you who came in late, I'm just going to repeat again that we have a program, which is a flagship program called Have a Meal on TRG. Have a Meal on TRG is the program we do to feed the poor or the disadvantaged people in our society. So anybody, as like I always say, anybody can fall under the category of disadvantaged, okay? So you might be comfortable today and tomorrow you won't be so comfortable. So that is life. So if you think there is any family or any individual you think can benefit from those free meals, then you can tell them to contact us, okay? But the free meals are not every day. It's mostly weekends, you know. But if you think there are families that can benefit from such, please send them to us. And also, if as soon as the MP of Greenwich Borough gets back to me, I will send you guys an email for those of you who might be interested in meeting with him. And that's it, really. And with that said, I will now hand over to Dr. Adrian, who is the secretary of the chair of the organization, to do the vote of thanks. Over to you, Dr. Adrian. Are you there, Dr. Adrian?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I forgot I was muted. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for your wonderful participation. It's been very interesting listening to you all. And I just want to thank all of us for making our time to ensure that all the children in the world are participating actively. Also to thank Christabel for that wonderful Kahoot. It's not all easy to get the young lads to have to address a group of people like this. So thank you for your confidence and continuity, because you've also done the last time. Also, most especially to thank our speaker for today, Ms. Rabia. Thank you for that very wonderful, heartwarming speech you've given us today. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, we want to say a very, very big thank you. And we are hoping that when we call upon you again, you wouldn't say no to us. To all parents who have ensured that their children have participated fully during this whole time, we, as much as it's a big favor to us and to you as well, everyone's gaining from it. We want to say a very big thank you to you. I mean, for being consistent and for ensuring that your children are all stay disciplined and keeping to the rules. And finally, I would just say very, very big thank you to everyone for attending and being patient up till this time. And I would like to wish you a wonderful rest of the day. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Dr. Adrian. I've just got this message that from Ms. Wanderson. Guys, if you would like your children to be TRG ambassadors, that's something similar to what Christabella is doing. If you think your son or daughter can participate or volunteer in TRG, remember that TRG also supports children in Africa. So your child can be a volunteer reader, a mentor to a child in Africa, reading to them online. You can also be reading to children within the UK, okay? So there are lots of things, or you want to do book reviews online on TRG channel, or you want to tweet something on the TRG's handle or Instagram or whatever. So whatever you think your children can do, it's not compulsory. If you want your child to be a TRG ambassador, you can indicate or contact me, okay? And finally, sorry guys. Okay, the tutors will be sending out reports on each of the children to their parents in the next couple of weeks. Okay, so thanks everyone for coming. Thank you to my wonderful tutors. You've been great. Thank you for all your sacrifices, going beyond the time and also giving extra lessons. Thank you so much. Have a lovely week, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.